Hi everyone, I hope you all are doing good. This video I'm going to do a first impressions, wear test and review of the NELF HD Hydrating Primer and the NELF HD Hydrating Foundation. I got these in my Glamigo box and Fab bag last month and a lot of you wanted to know my review on them. I really like the packaging of these two products. They have a pump right here which I think is really good. So the primer comes in a frosted glass bottle and I think it is really pretty. So I'm gonna take 2 pumps of this primer. This seems to have a very gel-like consistency and it seems like a silicones based primer. This feels kind of moisturizing on the skin. So I think it's great for people who have a dry skin. It anyway says that it's a very hydrating primer on the packaging. So my skin feels very smooth right now and it feels really moisturizing, and it seems it has blurred out my pores a little bit. So at first it felt kind of oily on my skin, but I think with time it just sinks into the skin and it gives a very hydrating from within kind of a feeling. Now it's time for us to use the foundation. This again comes in the frosted glass bottle with the pump packaging. I hope the shade matches me. This is in the shade 1 and I guessed my shade from the description given on the Fab bag website. So fingers crossed. It's that time of the month, so I do have a couple of breakouts on my face, and let's see how the coverage of this foundation is. Let me try with 1 pump first. If I need more, I'll be taking more. And I think I could have taken half the quantity of primer, that is just 1 pump for my face, because it feels very hydrating and it was very easy to spread. So this actually looks a little lighter for my skin tone, but let's see if it oxidizes. So I'm just dotting up the foundation on my face. This seems to have a pinkish undertone, but the description given on the website told that it was a bit yellow tone, and I do have a little bit of yellow tone on my skin. So now that I have spread it all over my face using my fingers, I'm going to use the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush to blend the foundation into my skin. It has a medium coverage, I think, or maybe I should have taken a bit more quantity. I can still see the pimple peeking through, and even I think there is still darkness going on my under eyes. But anyway, I like to use concealers to cover my under eye area, so I guess that's okay. Now I'm gonna take 1 more pump of the foundation. Okay, now I'm going to apply it to the areas where I need a little extra coverage. Let's see whether we can build up the foundation. Okay, now you can easily build it up, and my scars still peek through a bit, but it has provided a little extra coverage now. So it seems like a light to medium coverage foundation and it's very easy to build it up. Okay, so now I have blended in my foundation completely. We are going to see how other products work on top of this. So I'm going to conceal, highlight and contour my face using the LA Girl Pro Conceal HD concealers. I'm using the shade Natural as a highlighting concealer. Okay, now I'm blending in all my concealer. Now that my concealer has completely blended in, I'm going to contour my face. And for my contour, I'm going to use this one, which is in the shade Toast. Now I'm going to set my highlighted and contour areas using the Makeup Revolution Duo Face Sculpt. I'm going to use the skin color side of it to set my concealer and the darker color to set my contour. For my blush, today I'm going to use my Color Essence blusher in the shade 5. Okay, before putting on my highlight, I want you guys to notice this glow on my skin, and it's a really glow from within sort of a look. Now this foundation and primer is very hydrating. They give you a very dewy sort of a finish. I didn't set up these areas on my face. I set up only the areas where I applied the concealer and contour. Okay, so for my highlight, I'm going to use the In Color Baking Highlight, and this is in the shade 3 Floyd Shimmer. As of now, I really love the way my base is turning out. I really like the finish of this primer and this foundation. I usually like all the matte finish foundation, but this is actually a game changer for me. And I'm just loving the glow that it's giving me. I think someone with a very dry skin is going to love this foundation, and it's going to look really good in winters on me. So I'm done with applying my highlighter. I didn't apply it as much as I usually do, but I still find a glow on my skin which is given by this primer and the foundation. Okay, I'm just going to finish my eyes and lips and come right back. I finished my base makeup at 12:15 and it's 1 o'clock right now. I really like the finish of this foundation. It gives me a very dewy finish and I like how my base makeup looks. I also like how other products sit on top of this, like my concealer, my contour, my blush, my highlight. And this foundation has an SPF 15 and this foundation gave me a lot of flashback, but that's okay, it contains an SPF, so don't wear this foundation during the night time, but it is going to be a very good foundation to wear during the daytime as it has an SPF. It's 3:15 now, so 3 hours have gone. My face has started getting a little oily, but there is no creasing of the foundation, which is a good thing. I'm going to use a tissue to blot on the oil on my skin, and we can also check whether the foundation is transferred or not. So there is very minimal transfer of the foundation, and after blotting my skin with the tissue, my foundation looks fine. It's 6:30 now, so it's over 6 hours that I had used this primer and the foundation. The foundation has caked up on my nose area, but it's still running fine on my overall face. That's because I have a really oily nose. Also, I forgot to mention one thing earlier, that is, after about 1 hour of application, the foundation actually oxidized and matched with my skin color. So the pinkish tone that I had told you about earlier, it was not there anymore. This foundation does take some time to oxidize, but it oxidizes. You should keep it in your mind if you try this foundation before buying. I need to go out now and I'll come back after around 3 hours. Then I'll give you my final thoughts on the foundation and the primer. Also, the foundation is sweat proof and waterproof. I live in a very hot and humid place, so I did sweat out a lot. And I ate something, so I washed this area. But the foundation is still there even after washing. Okay, so it is 10:30 now and it's over 10 hours that I have been wearing this makeup. The foundation has completely disappeared from the centers of my face, and that's because I was getting very oily on this area and I kept blotting my face with a tissue, but there is still some foundation on the sides of my face, and you can also see that my contour and my concealer is also sitting well on top of it. So overall, I really like this foundation and primer. They also felt very comfortable on my skin. I have a very sensitive skin and I don't usually wear makeup for such a long time, but I still don't feel any kind of irritation on my face. Fingers crossed, and I hope I don't break out tomorrow. I'll update you in the description box below if anything happens. So I feel if you have a dry skin, you are going to love this primer and foundation combo. If you have an oily skin like me, it's not going to last you for a very long time, but it is going to easily last you for 3 to 4 hours if you use a setting powder. I actually set only under my eye area and all the makeup is still there intact. It also depends on your primer, it also depends on your setting spray. I didn't use any setting spray to set my face. Maybe using a setting spray can prolong the duration. If I had to give these products a rating out of 5, I would give the primer a 4 out of 5 and the foundation a 4.5 out of 5. I give the primer 4 out of 5 because it didn't control the oily secretion from my T-zone area, and I give the foundation 4.5 because if you remember, it took a really long time to oxidize and match to my skin tone, but it's a really good foundation. I think it's a nice medium coverage foundation which lasts for a very long time if you have a dry to normal skin, and if you have an oily skin, then you can make it work for at least 4 hours. I have an extremely oily T-zone and normal skin on the sides of my face, and that way you have seen how the foundation and the primer has worked on me. So that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and it was helpful for you. If it was, then please click on the like button and subscribe to my channel. It's going to motivate me to take my work forward and make more such review videos for you all. And once you're subscribed, please click the bell button next to the subscribe button so that you are notified whenever I post a new video. Also, follow my blog and Instagram for more such reviews. I'm very active on my Instagram and on my Insta stories. So that's all for this video, and I shall see you next time. Until then, bye! Okay, this doesn't come out really easily. गर्मी लग रहा है.